Good morning, YouTube. It is Bradley back. Thank you for stopping by the fragrance channel Tripleinc. Today will be my top 10 spring designer fragrance list. Spring has to be one of my favorite seasons. It is the season of renewal, of birth, new life. Everything's starting to grow and bloom and come up. Just a really nice time of the year. And with this list, I would like to show you my top 10 personal favorite designer fragrances for this amazing spring season. Now with spring fragrances, I'm generally looking for them to be very uplifting and have somewhat of a green, natural vibe to them to really fit with the splendor of nature around this time of the year. So without further ado, let's dive in with some honorable mentions. I'm going to start off with two from the house of Azzaro. We have Chrome United and Chrome Legend. Chrome Legend, we'll start off with this one. I think it is called Legend for its legendary performance for a fresh fragrance. It has great longevity, amazing projection. It does have sort of a synthetic vibe, smells kind of like apples and tea and some other things. However, it does great outdoors, and if you're looking for a very cheap powerhouse scent, this is a great one to look at. And for Chrome United, this to me is much more of an office, sort of a daily wear scent. Not as heavy or as powerful as Legend is. However, United does something different. This is very smooth and actually smells kind of natural for the price tag. It has an ozonic sort of a vibe. Again, tea is used in here very nicely. A very calming fragrance. Both of these are very cheap and are great for the springtime in my opinion. Alright, and now it's time to get this list officially started. I'm going to go with my number 10 spot now. This is one that is definitely an all year round scent, and it's actually made my top 20 fall list of last year. That's when I primarily like to wear this. However, I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot a little bit more this spring, and I am amazed at what I discovered. This scent works great in the spring also. This is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is L'Homme. The versatile L'Homme. Just such a fresh, bright, pleasing scent. Very kind, very gentle on the nose. Not going to offend anybody. Everybody knows about L'Homme. It fits the spring very well in my opinion. Can be worn by most people all year round indoors. I get pretty good performance off my skin. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. And this has just been very easy for me to wear this season, and I've really enjoyed it. So L'Homme is coming in at my number 10 spot. Okay, now coming in at my number 9 spot is another one from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is an absolute throwback in my opinion. This is the reformulated Rive Gauche Pour Homme. This fragrance is a classic barbershop fragrance, very manly, and while this is reformulated, this still has great performance, really. 10 hours longevity on my skin every time, amazing projection, another really good strong powerhouse from Yves Saint Laurent. What I mean by it has a barbershop vibe, it does smell like shaving cream, and that is really nice. Very classical, very rugged and masculine while being clean at the same time. This also has a green herbal twinge in here with that fern note. I find it very nice, very pleasant, easy to wear, and I definitely enjoy wearing this cooler days, I think, because it is quite potent. So that is Rive Gauche Pour Homme, and it's coming in at my number 9 spot. I've really enjoyed wearing this in the end of winter as we have transitioned into spring now. Alright, coming in at my number 8 spot, this is probably my favorite designer Vetiver-based scent. This is my little scent bird here of Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. Really good vetiver with this one. Has a nice juicy cooling grapefruit that is in the opening with that classic grassy green vetiver that you would find. I find this very professional, definitely works great in the office place and dressed up. This is the Eau de Toilette concentration, and I'm going to have to try the Eau de Parfum because this struggles in the projection department, has so longevity sometimes. But I find this, again, very easy to wear in the springtime, and it's a great dressed up scent, very nice professional at the same time. So this is definitely my favorite designer vetiver fragrance that I've come across so far in my fragrance journey, coming in at my number 8 spot. Alright, I got a two-way tie heading into my number 7 spot. Both of these picks are my warmer weather spring picks. When the weather starts to heat up, as we sort of get closer to the summertime, these are two that I always reach for. And I'm talking about Dior Homme Sport, the 2012 formulation, and CK2 by Calvin Klein. Let's start off with CK2, this underrated gem in my opinion. Wow. Why don't more people talk about this? Seriously, this is one of the best fresh fragrances released in the past 2 years, in my opinion. Came out in 2016. This is gender neutral, unisex. All I get is just a very soft, fresh, pleasing scent. I mean, so nice. This has rose in here, orris root, wasabi, and has a very cool wet stone accord. Hard to describe. Has kind of a suntan, creamy vibe to it as well, but so refreshing and nice for the springtime as well as the summer. Same goes for Dior Homme Sport. This works amazingly well in the summer as well. The 2012 is an absolute masterpiece in my opinion. It's got the powdery iris and citrus up top, very, very nice. And of course it has that cedar and that green, grassy, woody base with the ginger. Smells absolutely out of this world. So both of these are very nice picks for the springtime when it starts to heat up, also in the summertime. That's why they make it at the number 7 spot and not higher up, because I do very much appreciate these, but I think that they work also really good in the summer, and this is, after all, a spring exclusive list. Alright, coming in at my number 6 spot, you may have to zoom in for this one. This is my little mini bottle of Prada Luna Rossa. Still need to get myself a bigger bottle of this one. This is almost empty. So Prada Luna Rossa is a really nice, safe, powdery, fresh kind of a soapy scent. That's what Prada is definitely known for, is very elegant, soapy scents, and this is definitely one of their best. Has a nice minty, citrusy vibe up top. Definitely very smooth, very well blended and put together. Has pretty good performance actually for a soapy scent. And it's definitely one of the better offerings from the house of Prada. Has a very elegant yet sporty at the same time kind of a feel to it. And they have to invest getting a bigger bottle, but as of right now this is still working for me, and I really enjoy wearing this in the springtime. Especially spring mornings, it really just kind of gets me invigorated and kick-started for the rest of the day. It is my number 6 spot on this top 10 spring designer list. Alright, now rounding into my number 5 spot, I have actually a 3-way tie. 3 fragrances from the house of Lacoste. Lacoste, in my opinion, does very safe, very pleasing fragrances, but they all have one underlying theme, kind of sucky performance. So the 3 that I'm going to mention from Lacoste include Lacoste White, Lacoste Yellow, and Lacoste Essential. Let's start off with Lacoste Yellow. This is the Mr. Energizer Bunny. If you're a very energetic person, have an optimistic personality more or less, and are pretty happy all the time, this is definitely the fragrance for you. Very uplifting and has a really nice grapefruit and cypress note in there. So definitely a very uplifting fragrance if you're an energetic person. As for Lacoste White, I think that this fits a sporty guy. All of these, by the way, I think work great for people under the age of like 25, high school or college. Yeah, just a sporty, fresh fragrance if you're like the high school football team captain or something like that, and you're kind of relaxed but at the same time sporty. This is a great one for you. Has a cashmere vibe to it, but at the same time is creamy and very fresh with grapefruit and subtle woody undertones. And Lacoste Essential, this is the unique one. If you're an intellectual and you strive to be different than everybody else, this is a great one to look at. Lacoste Essential, this is a fuzzy green tomato leaf with a tangerine citrus opening. Very, very good. If these all had better performance, these would easily be coming in at like number 3 or number 2, but unfortunately, they don't last so long. They will get you some compliments, so just keep in mind that they're probably gonna wear off of your skin pretty quickly. Whew. Alright guys, now the list really begins. My number 4 spot, this is the Green Irish Spring bar of soap of the fragrance game. This is indeed Thierry Mugler Cologne. This is just a classic green bar of soap. I remember the first time I ever smelled this, I just thought, it took me to like a green clover patch basically. It just smells like a green soapy scent. Definitely not the most unique thing out here. It is very, very safe and a workhorse for me in the springtime. This is a fragrance for people who don't usually like to wear fragrances because it is very neutral, not going to offend anybody. It's something that you can just throw on and you know it's going to last you a good amount of time, because this, to tell you the truth, lasts me easily 8 hours every single time I wear it. Really good longevity. Projection is also not bad. It just has a very simple, very green scent for the springtime that I absolutely love. So I've definitely been wearing a lot of Mugler Cologne this spring, and it's coming in at my number 4 spot. Alright, let's head on to the number 3 spot now. This one made a serious run on the number 1 spot for this list. It just came up a little bit short. Nonetheless, I have really enjoyed it this year. This is Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Libre. I very recently did a review on this, and I think it is one of the most underrated from the house of YSL. This is their best offering for the springtime. The violet leaf is absolutely breathtaking in here. It's got this ozonic, sort of a slightly aquatic scent to it, super refreshing, yet masculine at the same time, very sort of breezy and open, and I just love the way this smells. Again, the Achilles heel with this one is sadly the performance. Doesn't last so long, but I'm okay with that. This is kind of a unique fragrance for me because it has that violet leaf note, which is a little bit harder to find in men's fragrances, I think. Also, this is probably my most complimented scent for this spring so far this year. We're about halfway through the season, more or less, and it's got me some amazing feedback. So what's coming in at my number 3 spot is L'Homme Libre. Go check this one out. I think it's highly underrated from the house. Alright, coming into my number 2 spot, this was a former number 1 on last year's list. This one just really reminds me of spring pretty much in every interpretation. Super artistic, very beautiful. This is from the house of Hermès. It is En Jardin sur le Nil from the Garden collection. Wow, I mean, this is This is just art, really. That's the only way I can put it. I know I always say that when I come to this, but it just has so many different assets to it. I mean, this really never smells the same way twice when you wear it. It has so many different things going on. Green, ripe mango, grapefruit going on in there, this watery lotus floral component in here, just so many different things going on, and I absolutely love it. Smells exactly like a fresh garden in the morning with the dew coming off of it. It's just super amazing. I would say 100% unisex. You ladies out there, you can easily wear this one too. I think it would work great. This on me has amazing projection. This is probably my go-to outdoor spring fragrance just because it smells absolutely like nature. This isn't by any means like my most complimented scent or anything, but this is just a fragrance for me, for my own personal enjoyment to wear and really dissect and just enjoy every moment of it. So this is my number 2 spot. Fell a little bit short this year, just got booted out by my new number 1. Alright, speaking of number 1, we have arrived at my number 1 spot for the Spring Fragrance Designer List 2017. Wow, this one I have just very recently picked up a full bottle of. I had a very nice little mini travel size kind of a bottle of this for a long time, and I said I really want to get myself a full bottle. This is too good to pass up. I have mentioned this fragrance on my channel before in another top 10 list and maybe one other time, but pretty much a relatively untalked about fragrance. It is from the House of Dior. Whoa. You gotta like sit up after you hear that, right? It's from the House of Dior. This is something serious right here. This is definitely more or less a forgotten fragrance in the Dior Homme line. Alright, now it's time to reveal what it is. This is Dior Homme Eau for men. Again, not a whole lot of talk about this one in the fragrance community. This is kind of a surprise release from Dior. I think it is absolutely one of their best. It smells to me more like the iris from DHI rather than the iris from Dior Homme. It's the creaminess in there, but it is just toned down by that grapefruit note. One of the most unique fragrances I've ever smelled. It's hard to describe the actual smell of this. It has coriander in here, I believe, as well. And this one, I think, just is a very versatile scent. You can wear this all year round, no problem, but it does fit the spring so nicely. I have had people say the store smells like vegetables, but in a good way, so I guess I'll take that, right? I don't know, this just has such a nice masculine quality to it without being generic. It has a very suave kind of an edge to it. It's just so nice. It's a classiness to it, yet can be worn casual, it can be worn to work in any occasion. And I really would suggest you go try out Dior Homme Eau. I think it is the forgotten child of the Dior Homme line. So nice. The performance is also very good on it as well. This performance is about the same as Dior Homme on my skin. And yeah, you're gonna see a lot more of this fragrance in my upcoming videos. I really have a lot of respect for this. Alright, so that was my list. Those are my top 10 designer fragrances for this amazing spring season. Let me know what your favorite spring fragrances are in the comments section below. The weather is starting to warm up a little bit more here. I'm doing a lot more outdoor reviews, so you can look forward to that. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more fragrance content. Make sure you hit the like button and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you back on this channel sometime soon with another video. Adios.